So in 1961, I moved to Vancouver with my then husband and was teaching there. And I'd always make examples for my classes, my art classes. So it's just the way you teach, by showing how you do it. And so I'd have all these examples I was making. And then I made a few pieces that were with the textile on a small scale. And somebody said, "Oh, I'd like to buy that." "Oh, really? Okay." So then there was a little gallery down on Seymour Street in Vancouver that had handcrafted works in it. And I took 2 or 3 down there, and they took them and they sold them. I thought, "Oh, all right." And let's say one had to supplement one's salary. So then things progressed, and I actually had a little one-man show of maybe 10 or 15 works of smallish pieces they sold. Then we moved to London, Ontario, and I had my son there, so I wasn't teaching, but I got involved in the art gallery and taught children's classes and on a volunteer basis, and then was invited to exhibit my work in one of the galleries. And so that mushroomed. So it was all happenstance. I didn't set out to pursue this goal, but it just happened, and I took the opportunity. And then when I was divorced and moved back to Victoria, I'd already had some success then, so I approached 1 or 2 of the galleries here, and they took my work. And that summer of '67, the art gallery, Greater Victoria, in the old part of the mansion, it was before the new wing was built on, and apparently somebody had cancelled a show they were going to have of their work, and my colleague and former teacher, Bill West, who happened to be involved with the gallery, said, "Well, Carole's got a body of work, perhaps she could fill in this space." So I had a show of about 25 works, from tiny size to the biggest one was 1 yard square, which I thought was huge, and they all sold. This is when you could sell it at a public gallery. Well, that just set me off. And mind you, they were like $25 or maybe $30. So they were all sold, and then another gallery invited me to work up another show, commercial gallery. But the good and wonderful piece of serendipity that happened, an artist by the name of Alan Edwards, who was from Victoria, but he was an architect working in New York at the time, doing large interiors for commercial buildings and hotels. He happened to see that show that was at the art gallery. He was here visiting his mother. And he contacted me, and he said, "Do you work on a larger scale?" I said, "Well, I could." So that's how it all started. So he came over, and we talked, and he commissioned a piece that was 4 feet by 6 feet, which was huge, monsters. I can't remember how long it took me to do it, but he purchased that for whatever building he was doing. And then it mushroomed from there, and he got me larger and larger and larger works. Until the absolute was in 1972, he was doing a big hotel in London, England. It was a Skyline Hotel in Knightsbridge. And so he was designing the whole interior of the hotel. And he invited me to be along as part of it. So I had 9 big commissions to do, from the lobby to the restaurant to the ballrooms. And I took a year's leave of absence from teaching to do this commission, and I never went back. There you are in a nutshell.